model, instead of in computing, you've always had kind of master and slave, and in online gaming, if somebody drops out, it can affect the play. So we're really looking at how do we drive software down closer and closer to the chipset, independent of the operating system that was there. And again, we think the application developer community will take this and do great things with it beyond what we could even consider. So now let's look. Wireless is going to go into new areas that will really transform those existing areas. I can think of healthcare right away, certainly a topic that we've covered extensively through different ComNexus events. In healthcare, we look at wireless having this ability that in developed parts of the world, it can help to reduce cost. And in developing parts of the world, it would purely be about providing access at first. And so we have a program here, Wireless Reach, that we run. We'll talk about another application of it here in a second. But Wireless Reach is neither marketing nor philanthropy. Philanthropy, if you go into a project and it requires philanthropy, typically it requires additional philanthropy to keep going. And so in Wireless Reach, we really look for these opportunities that can become businesses on their own, either because they're saving a tremendous amount of money or delivering this new service or capability to a market that revenue can be generated from. So the idea is to go in, stimulate them with philanthropy, but make sure that they're self-sustaining when you leave. And so healthcare will be a great opportunity for us. Some of the great companies that we have right here in San Diego are at the forefront of this capability. CardioNet, having the device that, if you have anything other than a full-on heart attack, it's very difficult to capture. By the time you reach the hospital, it's usually past. And so I always have said, I know, and the current way we would address that would be to check you into a bed for a week and monitor you. Given my schedule, I know if you put me on my back in a bed for a week with a remote control for a TV, I'm probably not having that event again. It's going to be out when I'm in my daily life and having the stresses that occurred to cause it in the first place. And so now with CardioNet, I can get this monitor that talks to a cell phone, and instead of being checked into a bed, I leave the hospital, and it's much more effective in capturing the event because it catches it as it happens when I'm back out in my daily routine. So an example of in the developed world, we can reduce cost and hospital bed occupancy with wireless technology going into new markets. But the one I wanted to focus on was education. And the idea, I obviously don't mention the second one there to my kids very much, this idea of school day extension. I think they think they're there long enough. But really enabling personalized education, and that's really the main thrust of anything when you look at wireless related going into a market. It goes into healthcare, it's about making healthcare more personalized, more in the control of the individual consumer. And we think the same can be done for education.